Stephanie Cameraman. We are live at the Chicago Traders Expo 2018. This is the third day, and it's been really amazing. I've got to meet some incredible speakers, presenters, traders. I have Bill Baruch here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you work at Blue
Line Futures.
Blue Line Futures. How many of you guys trade futures? I love futures. I mean, I don't trade them, Bill, but I'm going to tell you, I watch every single tick. I trade oil, I trade gold, I trade the SPY, I trade, everything's around the dollar and all that good stuff. So even if you don't trade futures, you need to know about them.
You do.
Yes.
If you get the dollar right, you get a lot of things right. It's important.
A lot of things. So commodities are at an interesting spot right now, right? Gold has been getting hammered. Oil had that big move up, a little bit of a pullback, but let's start with gold. What do you see now? Is it a good time to buy?
I'm a long-term bull in gold, and yes. I think breaking 1235 was very disappointing. Yeah. It had no enthusiasm there, but the level that it hit at 1210.7 was a very technical area. I think there's a lot of value down here in the long term. I'm watching the Chinese Yuan, because the Chinese Yuan, as they weaken the Yuan, it's hurting gold. So at some point, I think we're going to start to see that relationship dissipate just a bit, and gold's going to benefit. I don't see the dollar going higher for longer, and I think we could be seeing some exhaustion in the dollar rally. So I think, again, there's some long-term value here in gold, and I expect it to bounce in the somewhat intermediate term future.
What is causing the Chinese yuan to weaken?
Well, they're battling the trade tariffs.
Right.
They're trying to make their exports more attractive. They're making up for it.
You think they're going to win this battle? I know they're tough. You don't want to mess with China.
I don't think there really is going to be a real winner. I ultimately think that we're going to continue to battle. We're going to see more tariffs implemented, and they can't match tit for tat that everybody was saying. So I think at one point they're going to be exhausted, but they're also implementing, today you hear infrastructure spending. So they're fighting this. The Shanghai Composite, the Hang Seng, we're all up about 1.5%. So when we start to see that, there's less room for them to weaken the yuan, and at some point you're going to start to see that taper off, and the economies will even out a bit.
So I see you do fundamentals. Yeah, you know what's going on. AIM, you do technicals.
Yes.
Right? Is it a 50-50 with you?
Well, I base a lot of my intermediate, longer-term trade decisions off of the fundamentals, and then I trade the technicals within that. I think
when
that's
to
how
enter,
yes,
right?
Yes.
When to exit. I mean, there's certain levels, and you seem to have them memorized.
Yes.
Right, like the dollar,
yes.
right? 95. You see, it keeps trying to up thrust, right?
Yes.
And it's unable to do that. But if we close above 95, you'll change your views?
If it closes above 95, 95 and a quarter, there's going to be some more room. You can't fight the tape, and at that point, we're going to go higher, maybe 1-2% at minimum. So my long-term thesis, I would still be bearish the dollar, but you cannot be short.
Right. So it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you're not the only person watching these. I mean, I just met you, and I'm watching the same exact levels that you are. So when it does this, right? Well, they do those up thrusts to kind of fake us out.
Oh, yes.
But when it closes on a weekly candle, above a significant level, I mean, you got to go with the tape. And then everybody goes in, or everybody covers their short, right? And it makes that next move up.
Yes. There was a big head fake last week.
Yes.
And in fact, I'm talking in my speech today about using options to protect futures positions. And that's something that, with the dollar last week, would have been very valuable as it was pushing higher and running those stops.
I saw that. I know. I was like, we're going higher? I mean, it's still unbelievable, because you just make that massive move, it consolidated again. And I'm on the edge of my seat. I know I'm not the only person just watching this going, which way is it going to go? I think the important thing is to be prepared no matter what happens.
Yes, and one thing I tell my clients, though, is the dollar index, if you're watching, is still 57% the euro. You're not getting any Chinese yuan in there, so we got to watch the yuan separately. And with the euro, break out in the dollar, the euro wasn't confirming it. The euro had big support down at 116.22 that it held. So it's important to watch that.
Awesome, Bill. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about what you do in your company. Stay tuned, guys.